right, we are live. We're live from Philly Cricket. This is a first for Dan on Golf. We are live remote.
Live remote on site.
Live remote on site. Do we have any other words to describe what
with
we
the
are?
winner?
We are with the winner.
One of the winners.
One of the winners. That's right. It was a team effort.
Just a third of the
Eric Anders laying 1/3 of Team Richards. It was really more like Team Dalkey today. I mean, he was
very true.
The drives he hit on 11 and on 18.
We were so disappointed that we didn't have TrackMan because we were convinced he was convinced it was 194 ball speed, and I mean that's a long ball.
That's a long ball. He's a hell of a player. Hey, you guys needed it late. It kind of you were falling back, and then Josh made the putt on 17 that kind of turned things around.
That was a big momentum shift, right? You know, a 30-foot par putt right after Tyler chips in for birdie. You know, we didn't really know where we were at honestly, but yeah. Par, par, triple. We weren't feeling great.
Yeah.
You know, after the first hole, we were like,
so.
Yeah, like on the first hole, we didn't know what was going to happen. And we were like, we could go 2 under.
Yeah.
And then, you know, immediately got slapped twice. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like we all kind of learned about alternate shot kind of the same. Do you guys play alternate shot very much?
I don't think anyone really plays alternate shot very much. It's super uncomfortable.
It's super uncomfortable. It's like technically it's faster, but you really learn about how it's not so much like the individuals on the team, but rather how you kind of all show up. Like, I mean, honestly, like one of the best shots of the day that it's not going to get talked about is Josh's out from the bunker on the playoff
That
hole.
sealed the deal.
Yeah, because it put us in position. I mean, that's an easy shot with nerves where we're just humans. Where I was thinking this could go in the hospitality, this could stay in the bunker. There's so many options for that, but just a really clean out and big splash. It was awesome to see.
There was plenty of that today all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Like your drive on one, how did that end up in the fairway?
Dude,
did you figure out what it hit?
It was high on the face, and it went a long way.
Went a long way. So I caught it high in the face. I pulled it maybe 10 yards. I was looking over the left side of the bunker.
Yeah.
And I honestly didn't know that the fairway kind of turns left there. And yeah, I mean, it rolled out to, it felt like 320 something.
Everyone's standing out there being like, did it hit that metal thing? Did it hit that tree?
Yeah.
Because we saw it going left, but I guess the curve of the
I think it carried everything. Yeah.
So I came when I saw that the ball was all the way over there. I said to the guys on the ropes, I said, "Where did that land?" And they said it landed right on the fairway, just past
right there,
the bunker. So that was a really cool start to the day because it was a pretty nerve-wracking shot for me. You know, what do you do here? And then it's really just one of these things where you're like. Most of the time we're spending talking to each other as really three people that hadn't really met prior to today. I played once with Josh. I've met Brad before here and there, but all of a sudden we're a team, got the same objective, and all we want to do is support each other and talk each other through it, and we all have different strengths, so it was a really interesting experience beyond just winning the Creator Classic. That was cool. But even just coming here and playing all shot with 3 really cool people that have honed their craft on making content and love golf.
Yeah, I mean, Josh is a he's a unit in content space.
Yeah,
he is an absolute force.
Well, and I'm so out of the loop. When we played Pinehurst last year,
you're not that out of the loop.
Well, when I looked him up, I was like 6 million followers. I don't have TikTok. You know what I mean? I don't really consume a lot of content, which is maybe crazy to say, but I love making it. I don't really like consuming it.
That's what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to. Well, because I think you're right. I mean, there's a lot of people who if you're at Josh's level or your level or dude, you'll just be in the comments you'll be obsessing over it all day.
Yeah. And
you have to get to a point where you're like, I can control what I can control, which is everything that happens before we hit send.
Yeah.
And then you hit send, and it's not up to you anymore.
Well, you're really making me think of. I don't know if you checked out Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act.
Sounds like I should.
You really should, because he talks a lot about how, you make the piece of art and you basically press publish in our world, and that's the job. The job isn't the reception. The job isn't the accolades. The job isn't really anything. The job is just, if you love making it, that's what really matters. And I'm a process guy.
The process is the project.
Yeah. And on some level, we can talk about, I mean, I've loved the process of making Adventures in Golf with you guys for almost a decade.
Yeah.
And for me, side note, it's crazy to be here and look around at this YouTube logo that has kind of been the guiding light of my career for the last 10 years. My socks. I got a YouTube golf ball that I watched roll into the hole for the final putt, But so that's its own pinch me moment. But on the other side of it, the experience of making Adventures in Golf, it's like the video is almost secondary. The experience.
Well, you're going to the coolest places on the planet.
Cool, interesting, challenging.
Meeting
those people has got to be the best part, right?
Yeah, it's going around and just sponging. what's your story? What are you into? We went to Ukraine 3 weeks ago, and it's hard to sum up, right? We're going to make a film about it, which you can watch on Scratch. But
So yeah,
Coming this fall.
It's Adventures in Golf season. What is it? 11?
9.
No, I knew it was up there.
Season 10,000. No, I think it's technically season 9.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a clip or something?
I don't know.
No,
We
not
don't have
yet.
a clip.
Oh, we don't have a
We
clip.
will.
Yeah, I was like, how would you have a
I
clip?
think
don't
Bob's
even think I've
cooking
delivered
them up
the footage
right
yet.
now. It's in the lab.
But like, we go to all these places, and I guess what I'm saying is like the process for me. This Rick Rubin kind of thread is, I enjoy the process of exploring golf IRL. The fact that I'm a filmmaker and I get to make a video and share it with others is a bonus, and I like getting into the editing and stuff. But when you go look at the response, it's amazing when people love it.
Yeah.
But that's not even the point.
Yeah.
Like weirdly enough, I don't know if I'm even like
No, I
going
know
to
what
own
you're
this
saying.
Makes a lot of
thing
sense,
to the
Yeah.
end, but
But it's tricky. Like I think even like the younger, where it's all it's all based on followers and likes and engagement. Like yes, that is the job, is making it. But also what happens after is like super relevant feedback.
yeah.
But the human brain is not designed for that much feedback.
No.
Like every single, like most, people forever, you worked a job, you had a quarterly meeting with your boss and they said, you're doing well or you're not
Yeah.
doing well.
It was one thing.
Right. And it's like, you get every single video, there's
Yeah.
a number, there's a score.
Well, and you're speaking about this thing interestingly. Sociologically speaking, you can only recognize 100 faces,
Yeah.
right? Like
Clans. Humans are clan animals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That militaries follow this rule, right? Like it's a group of 100, And so as the world gets bigger, you have to really get smaller on some level and really look at like, this is the craft I enjoy. And when you were talking, Dan, it really made me think about if you're making the work for the response, all of a sudden the work changes in a way that might not be best for the work itself.
Yeah.
And we make our videos don't perform in the millions or the tens of millions. We don't get the most views, but I think what we make is something that I enjoy making, and I'll continue making it as long as we can. Not because it gets the most views, but it's because it's something I enjoy making.
Yeah. So you mentioned it. You played golf in Ukraine.
Yeah.
So how did that idea come about, and like how did you make that happen? Because it's obviously not the easiest place to get to right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm very lucky to have my producer JoJo off screen here, who can basically make anything happen. And
JoJo's part producer, part fixer.
Oh yeah, if it's not fixed, he's going to produce it, and if it's not produced, he's going to fix it.
Yeah.
Everything happens under his guise. But simply speaking, we had an itinerary. We needed to do a couple episodes. We pulled out a globe.
Old school.
Yeah, we have a globe in the office. It's kind of a prop, but we like it, and it's a way to see the world in the real, perspective.
That is the world.
It's
Not the flat
map.
version? I thought that was the
I
real
have heard
version.
the Earth is not flat,
Yeah.
but I'm not here to talk about
Yeah, I
that.
was gonna say you can go down some rabbit holes. We can do some research if you want.
But we pulled out the globe, and I said, look, main criteria, guys, countries we haven't visited.
Yeah.
Right? And so we started actually with Kazakhstan and realized it was too cold. And then it was staring at us right in the face. The biggest country in Europe, Ukraine. Right? And we said, can we go there? And 24 hours later, we had an answer. Not only can we go there, but there's a person there who's been a PGA professional for 15 years, who's served in the military on the front lines in Kharkiv, right? Who's now training, soldiers who are rehabilitating to get into the game of golf. And this is all happening within a 9-hole course on the western edge of this country that we had to drive into in the middle of the night.
During
and
the war.
You fly to Poland.
You fly to Poland and you drive. Yeah, it's a long drive.
Yeah.
They say the wait time could be 30 minutes or 5 hours.
Wow.
And for us, it was like 2 or 3.
Right in the middle.
And what we found there was, you kind of try. I try to go in without too many expectations of what I'm going to find.
Yeah.
And I also try to do not too much research because I really want to learn it from the local lens.
Okay.
And, but nevertheless, I had a thought of what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be dark. I thought it was going to be sad. And it was. Don't get me wrong. Like, it really was. But the people were not. And that was the most interesting thing. Everyone we talked to was shoulders up, proud of their Ukrainian heritage, proud of the fact that they were still in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And proud of their country and all of the things that they've done, whether it's historically relevant. I mean, the episode is going to talk a lot about the long-term history of Ukraine, which is challenging. You know, I mean, anyway, I mean, it's a golf show at the end of the day, but we try and bring in as much of the story of the fabric of the world as we can, because golf is a universal language.
That's the human spirit's amazing, because like you'll see in any like atrocity that happens around the world, they'll find like they sang songs, and like it's just.
I think it's also what we get fed here about what's happening elsewhere is like one version of the story, right? And like they get to tell their own story in this episode, which is fantastic. It's not like through a cable news channel reporting on like some travesty. There's still beauty happening.
And the idea of they getting to tell their story is a really interesting point, Ben, because we were asked actually by the PGA Tour, who at one time owned Scratch, right, or controlled it, and they said, we want you to go to Maui ahead of the century, and we want you to talk about the fires in Lahaina. And I was like, wow, it's a tough ask. I don't know how to do that. And luckily we met Mark Rolfing. Who, did we get a timer?
No.
Okay.
You just
luckily we
producing.
met. I have weird peripheral vision. Luckily we met Mark Rolfing, who had lived in Hawaii.
He's the Hawaii guy,
yeah,
talking about the trade winds.
And so he kind of brought us into this story that was ultimately, to your point, everyone, wherever we go, is so proud of their golf course, their country, their town, their city, their family, their lineage, whatever story we're covering. My favorite thing is when you point a camera at someone and ask them a question, and you probably experienced this hosting a podcast, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden you get this like life that's filled with the process where you get to have an intentional conversation. And on some level, YouTube has really given me that, and I can make a lot of birdie putts, but they're not going to mean half as much as the intentional conversations I've been able to have through content.
You were telling me earlier you've played golf in like 40 to 50 countries now?
Yeah, probably. I think I've traveled to like 70. So I haven't. I should do the numbers.
Yeah. So what's on the top of the list that you still haven't visited yet?
Well, I've never been to South America.
Well, there's a lot there.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Buenos Aires is the capital of golf in South America. There's Mackenzie's, there's Nicholas's, there's so many great courses. I also speak enough Spanish to order a burrito, but yeah, so I just need to get there once and for all. And we've been trying to make this series in South America happen.
That's right.
There's the highest golf course in the world, there's the Rio golf course, there's the golf course that's at the disembarkation point for Antarctica. I mean, there's just stories to be had there. So that'll be another 5. So anything in South America I love. I can't wait to get there.
I think you maybe have the coolest. I thought I had the coolest job in the world. I think you might have the coolest job in the world. On the broadcast today, they called you the Anthony Bourdain of golf.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Touching, right? Because I never thought of that.
Yeah.
But I saw it in the comments early on. I saw it in the comments, and then I'd never seen Bourdain.
You'd never seen Bourdain?
Never
at that time?
It's the GOAT.
Or still to this day you have.
So it's a crazy story. So never had seen Bourdain. And we're filming an episode of Adventures of Golf in Death Valley the day Bourdain dies.
Oh, wow.
Right? And so then I had this weird thing where, because the truth is, even though I had never seen it, I read it in the comments, and I started to believe it. And I just assumed he and I would meet one day.
Yeah.
And he might say, I know that on my show I said, I hate golf, but I like what you're doing. I just had this vision that he would say that. And then he died. And then what's weird is I finally said to my team who shoots the show, I said, let's sit down and watch Bourdain together. And we sat down and watched, and I looked at the calendar, and somehow it came up in my feed that was his birthday. And so it was just this weird thing, but
so there's some kind of like
cosmic
connection
there's a
happening,
bit of cosmic
right?
shit going on there. Yeah, stuff. Sorry.
We like cosmic stuff.
We can say shit.
But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I mean, we all, I don't know. I do feel like I have a cool job. I think the one thing to clarify is that it's very, very hard.
Yeah.
And that's almost like you have a hard job too.
Yeah.
At some level, you want that.
It's the only thing I really know how to do.
Yeah.
It's like, and once you do it, it's hard to stop.
What's your favorite part about your job?
That's a great question. I mean, I get a front row seat to the best players in the world, which is really cool for me. I'm a golf nut, like a real golf sicko, and I get to know most of the best players in the world. And when I realized I wasn't good enough to be one of them, I kind of just always wanted to be as close to it as possible.
Yeah.
And so I think I'll be old and gray and telling my grandkids that Rory McIlroy knew who I was, and Tiger Woods called me D, and there's just like, that's really cool to me.
Yeah.
So
You are a good golfer. I remember we played Riviera together, right?
I don't think we played together. I think you were like in the group ahead of me, but we were together that day.
I remember you were playing very well.
Yeah, I got a little game.
You played very well.
But I don't like playing on camera. It doesn't.
Oh, really?
No, I don't.
That's why you caddy.
That's why I caddy or do the broadcast. I just like I'm not that. I get pretty like if I'm trying to play well, I get pretty like quiet and introverted. So it's just not natural for me.
That's kind of interesting. That feature alone of a good player getting quiet is kind of why YouTube Golf exists.
Yeah, 100%. Because there's a gap.
Yeah, because we're just chatting.
You're just chatting. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. If the tour players chatted like that, there'd be no use for it.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting, you know. It's a funny thing.
Well, I'm gonna let you go.
Cool.
Thank
you so much.
Terrific stuff. My hands
Appreciate
are super sweaty. So
it's okay. I will
don't
pretend it's
judge
water.
it against me.
Good to see you, man.
That was awesome.
See you, everybody. Thanks.
We got another
Adventures in
guest.
Golf, season 9.
Adventures in
Coming
Golf
this fall.
season 9.
Go, dog.
What's happening?
How's it going, Dan?
Chaz.
Chaz,
Ben.
nice to meet
Chaz,
you.
nice to meet you.
Chaz.
What's up, Chaz? You got this?
Let's go.
Yeah!
There we go, boys.
Just
How about
now.
that?
What's happening?
Chaz,
Yes, sir.
you stole the show a little bit today.
I kind of do that.
You kind of have. So give us the background on Chaz.
So within the last 6 months,
It's all happened very quickly.
Yeah, since last October, I was actually out here in Philadelphia. I had a tournament with the Golfers Association of Pennsylvania, and me and Josh became close friends on social media. And I mentioned to him that I'm coming out here, and he said, "Why don't you come down to Atlantic City and play some golf?" So I went down there before the tournament. We played an 18-hole match, and after that day, we became best friends.
Best
And-
friends.
Yeah.
That's a
Like,
big
it was
title.
like-
Yeah, just like
instant
right away.
boys.
It's
Another
like,
cosmic connection.
going back home, I play golf a lot. I have a good amount of friends there. But even when I'm back home, I'm like, damn, I wish I was playing golf with my best bud, Josh. So it's been going right, and I'm happy for it.
So have you always been like you play golf since you were young and you always
Yeah,
been a good player? Because you're like one of the best. You're one of the best at what you do.
Yeah, so I'm ranked number 1 in the United States of America for adaptive short stature players. So I'm pumped on that, which is great. And ever since people started growing taller than me, I knew I couldn't play team sports because baseball, I couldn't run the bases fast enough. Basketball, there's no chance. Football, I don't think I'd be here if I did. So I found golf and I stuck with it, knowing it's an individual sport, and I was like, I want to get good.
And you missed the tournament to be here today
Yes.
as the number 1 rank.
Yeah, so last year, USDGA had a tournament at the PGA Golf Club in Port St. Lucie. I ended up losing by 1 shot, took second place overall, 5 over for 3 days. And when Josh said, Chaz, do you want to go caddy for me at the Creator Classic? I said, let the good times roll. So I told the tournament, I got to withdraw, I'm going to go have good times.
What's the biggest tournament of the year for you?
The United States Adaptive Open.
Right, they've been doing that for a couple years
Yeah,
now?
so
It's coming up soon, too, right?
Yeah, it's this July 7th through 10th. I actually have qualifying this 20th once I get
Hey,
home.
you're number 1 in the world. You have to qualify?
Yeah, so if you win the division, I'm number 1 in the United States.
Okay.
Number 2 in the world.
Oh, where's the other guy from?
Brendan Warrior from Ireland.
Oh, I've seen that guy.
Yeah, he's
European
a stick.
Tour's done a lot of stuff with
Yeah,
him.
he does a lot with DP World Tour.
Yeah, sorry, DP World Tour.
So he's a good guy. Since I took second in my category, I got to qualify again. So I'm not too worried about it because the game's hot and looking forward to it.
The game's hot. Fuck yeah.
So yeah, how often do you play?
When I'm not traveling,
Like
almost every day.
Yeah,
Really?
practice the whole
Yeah,
time. You're a professional golfer.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I do operations management at a private club back home called the Alisal Ranch. I get there at 5 a.m.
Is that in California?
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in LA. I know it. Where is that?
just in Solvang, the
Yeah.
little Danish town.
Yeah.
So I live there.
Oh, it's like wine country almost. isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Yeah. Solvang is a Danish town,
Yeah, it's a
isn't it?
miniature Copenhagen. It's beautiful.
Oh,
Have you-
wow.
are you from that area?
Yeah, born and raised there in Santa Barbara.
How was the experience today?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. The energy was there. The people were great. The players were awesome. And it was truly spectacular.
How'd Josh do?
He did great. We had a few little hiccups, but other than that, the swing was good. And yeah, can't complain.
Were there anybody out here that you were super stoked to get to walk with or play with or meet? Or have you pretty much met them all at this point?
If I had to say somebody, I always like hanging out with the good boys.
Yeah.
They're awesome. And then first time meeting Dude Perfect. So he's a
Oh,
cool
yeah.
guy.
It's
and-
wild how big they are.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So we were seeing it out there. I mean, the good guys got a lot of cheers, but Tyler Tony is like, dude,
It feels like at every one of these,
They're at
like
another
the kids are
level,
showing
those
up
guys.
for.
Yes, we were in line at the autograph thing, and Dude Perfect, good, Paige, were all in front of us, and they just had a crowd in front of them.
yeah.
I was like, wow, that must be awesome.
So you're gonna keep? Have you made like much content before these last 6 months? You're gonna keep it going?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it going. I want to keep striving to spread adaptive golf because if you have a swing, own your swing and play it. No matter if you're in a chair, line, short, just do it. Be out there on the golf course.
It's one of the beautiful things about our sport.
It
like
really
you
is.
mentioned, anyone can play it.
Anyone.
There's not, I play with a 90-year-old guy before, and he's awesome.
Yeah, hits it down the middle,
Hits it
150 yards.
Right down the middle.
So
There's a way for everybody to play the game,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like
I agree.
Where's the Adaptive Open this year?
It's at Woodmont Country Club these
Oh,
next 2
I know where that
years.
is. In Maryland?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So the first 2 were in Pinehurst. Last year was in Sand Creek Station. That was an awesome event, and I'm looking forward to Woodmont this year.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm gonna come out to that. So I'll
Come
see
on
you
out.
there. I'm
It's a
excited
great
about it.
event. Just the spread of awareness. It kind of makes me tear because I know I'm short,
Yeah.
but my body's physically capable of doing things. But people out there like Max Togasala, being in a wheelchair and then going into one of those stand-up and rides and still hitting the ball at 260 down the middle. It's fascinating.
260 down the middle.
I got a question for you. So over the past year of lifelong golfer, right? Have you seen anything in the accessibility of the game for players like yourself that have become more prominent over the last couple of years or since golf got like so hot? you know?
Yes, it's definitely gaining. Like I've been working with Callaway lately, and they're trying to figure out the right golf shaft for me.
Right, because you're a unique case. Because they can't just give you like a shaft that they would, usually a shorter club would be like super whippy shaft, but you've got more speed than that.
So what I do is I take like a senior and I cut it down to my length, and then it'll turn into a regular flex. So you can put weight in the grip, adjust the lie, and we're doing some technology. I'm happy with where it goes.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
How cool is that Callaway's supporting that?
Yeah, I'm really big appreciative on that.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to let you go. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it very
I
much.
appreciate
Thank
it,
you for
guys.
Good
the
stuff,
podcast.
Chaz.
Cheers.
We'll
man.
be watching. We'll be watching.
See you in Maryland.
Oh yeah, come on out.
Yeah.
Josh is gonna be on the bag.
Josh,
Oh, hell
you've
yeah.
got to return the favor now.
Got to.
Yeah,
Exactly.
perfect. Good seeing you.
Later, Chaz.
All right. Andy, do you got us? We got some clips that we can. Oh, we got Josh Richards. Oh, wow. Big
The man.
Big get.
King of
for
Quiet
us.
Golf.
Yep. King of Creator Classic, apparently.
King of the Creator Classic.
Now.
How was it out there?
It was good, man. It was a lot of fun. A lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Were you nervous?
So nervous.
Yeah.
I've never been so nervous at a golf ball in my life. The tee box was the scariest place I've ever been. And I kind of knew going in the tee box was going to be bad today. It's been the worst part of the game for the last 2 months. Haven't played for 3 weeks, so I was feeling a little not confident over those.
Do you get to play ever? Like how?
Yeah. I feel like whenever I'm home, I'm playing once a week at least. So
Yeah, I play
it's
golf
just
with Blake Gray every now and then.
Great golfer.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good.
Great golfer.
He
He's
hits-
he's shooting at a 7 right now.
Yeah, he hits it a long
Oh,
way.
yeah. Oh,
Are
yeah.
you motivated to try and get better after today?
Yeah, that feels like a shot, but yes.
No, not at all.
No, it's okay.
You
It's
saw
okay.
some. Brad is a ledge.
I need to get better.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. No, yeah, definitely. What are we doing here? They're trying to
was
come
well
into our
done. She
shot?
stopped on a dime.
Yeah, that was beautiful,
Yeah.
actually. Great stop. No, I need to get lessons. I haven't done lessons. I haven't gotten my clubs fitted. I need to do both of those.
So you're balling on a stock set?
Yeah, stock
Nice.
set. But no, I think lessons is really where it's at, and I just haven't done that yet.
You're probably going to play in some more creator stuff, I would imagine.
Is it kind of like the Masters? Like when you win one, you get the auto invite
I
back?
think you're
or-
back forever. But I mean, Dave's having an event,
Yeah.
Internet Invitational.
Yep.
Gotta
Yep.
think you'll be.
I'm
down
going
for
to that one. I'm going to
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
Quiet Golf.
Yes.
How did this come to be?
Yeah, so I had seen some of their stuff online, some of their apparel, and I just really liked it. They actually were working, my business manager knew them. I asked for an intro. We got introduced to those guys, went and played together. Just like the stuff they were doing, and I thought it'd be fun to get involved into an apparel brand, playing more and more golf now. So I invested in that, and now,
Did you go out to Pelican Hill with those guys?
when we played with them, we played Brentwood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's where he's a member.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I've gone
Beauty
with Blake.
course.
Yeah, we'll go out there and play whenever.
All right.
I
Yeah,
love
let me
those
know.
guys.
Yeah, they're great
Raul and
guys.
Diego and Christian.
Oh, all great.
You invest a lot. You have a lot of investments, don't you?
Yeah. I have a fund as well, so it's just like a place that I felt like when I first came into the game of social, I was like, how can I make sure I don't just rely on my social media?
Yeah.
It is, lightning in a bottle. You never know how long you're going to be here, kind of area to be in. And I thought investing was the best way to stay a part of the future. So
Let's show his putt. We got his putt.
Oh, yeah.
On 16.
sweet.
You're not
You know
quite
which putt
gonna
we're
see
talking
it, but
about.
there's-
Yeah,
there's one
yeah.
putt.
I know the putt.
Are we rolling it, Andy? We got the putt. All right, the putt
nice.
is on. Tell me about this putt.
Yeah. So I actually thought this was the last hole.
Is that right?
Yeah, I thought it was the
a
last
walk-off.
hole. I thought it was like, okay, if I don't make this putt, we're out. We don't even get the chance to go and have a chip off or anything. So I was standing over it, pressure on. I typically putt with a glove on, just because I feel like I want a wider grip on my putter right now, and I don't have that. So I was like, I always am putting with the glove on, and I didn't do it all day because I didn't want to look like a fool. So I was like, you know what? I need glove on for this one. Put the glove on, hit the putt. Felt great.
And then you clutched up in the playoff hole too with the bunker shot.
Yeah. Face was a little squared. It really left myself no room for error, but hit it how I was trying to hit it and worked out.
We got to use some clubs and you're going to be a problem.
I hope so.
On that putt, were you like, please hit the hole? Or what were your feelings like watching it pace?
I liked the line off right when I hit it. I was like, okay, the line's right. I was like, but this is moving. This ball is moving. I need to hit the backboard. So it did. It rattled around, went in, hit the drop. But,
it looked like one of those double rim basketball shots where like hits
exactly. No pictures on the scorecard though.
That's right.
Right. All right, man. We'll let you go.
Thank you.
See you at Pro.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
We'll see
Thank
you
you
out
guys.
Wow.
See how I changed that fist bump into a mic grab?
Just a little, just one of these things.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Creator Classic today?
I liked it. I liked the alt shot because it's like hard to make a birdie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hard to get into like a groove.
Yeah.
So I thought they showed a lot of resilience out there. The scores were a lot higher than I expected.
Yeah, I thought the scores were going to be just as high as they were.
Really?
It's alternate shot, and there's, it's not all the best players on. You know what I mean?
The thing that was different about this Creator Classic than the last couple that we were at was like there were more errant shots in this one, like on other holes and stuff. So
yeah,
like,
there's a little chaos.
Groups were crossing over. It was getting wild, but. Saw some good play.
Saw some good play. Yeah. Saw some good in the end. There was a little bit of someone else. We got one more. Okay, we got one more guest.
Another guest.
We are just doing a guest show.
We don't even know who's coming.
We don't even know who's coming. Philly Cricket, man. Star of the show for me.
This other course that's behind us.
Yeah, we're looking over this other course. I think it's
Militia
the
Hill
Mission Hill? Militia Hill? Militia Hill course. Oh, we got Tyler Toney.
Hell yeah.
We got the heavy hitters.
I thought you were saying Nicole. I was like, she come on.
Wow. Yeah, please.
Come on in.
Absolutely.
Here's your
Thanks
sword.
for joining us.
Awesome.
We got Tyler Toney of Dude Perfect.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I can hear you, Andy.
Awesome.
We got your chip-in. Tell me about the chip-in heard around the world.
Yeah, man, that was fun. We were looking for something. We needed that one badly.
Not an
Paige
easy
had been
shot.
carrying us. No, it was short-sighted. Had the bunker in front, and Paige was like, just hit it with confidence. I was like, all right, well, it's either going to kill somebody on the other side or it's going up in the air, and we'll see what happens.
I was watching without sound. I wondered what that discussion was that was going on there. between you and Paige.
We had a decent lie. It was still in the rough, but just short-sighted, not a lot of green to work with, and I hit my 60-degree anywhere around the green, which is probably not a great habit, but it just means I'm at least a little bit more comfortable with it. So I like putting the ball up high.
You threw that thing up high.
That's what we did, and luckily it hit the hole and went in, because otherwise it was going to still be moving past the hole a little bit. But
the
it was
whole
fun,
day
man.
is like worth it now. Like you got the clip out of it. You guys are so like early OG YouTube creators. What's been your opinion or take of watching like the YouTube golf space grow so much?
Yeah, it's interesting. We hit 16 years in April, which is just wild. I mean, nuts. None of us ever would have thought, that we'd be doing this for a job, let alone be able to do it for 16 years.
And humming at 16 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. We were having a discussion on the bus on the way out here, and there's some like areas of content that you don't necessarily want to hit. Some of the other golf guys were talking about, hey, do you ever just play for fun anymore? And I thought it was just an interesting perspective, because like that's kind of gone for them. Like if they're playing golf somewhere special, then they're filming it and it's part of the job. And so much of sports has kind of become that for us. And golf is still kind of that one thing that we can hold on to, where it's like we can go out and play Oakmont and enjoy it and not have to film it. And so I think it's amazing. I love watching the golf content. I love being a part of it, but I also like kind of having that be our deal, that we get to just go enjoy. We're starting up some new Dude Perfect channels this year, Dude Perfect Outdoors, so we'll be doing some hunting and fishing stuff, which is my first love and passion. So I'm excited about that, but at the same time, kind of hesitant to turn it into the job aspect versus just being able to enjoy it. But I've got 3 little boys that love it, and so to be able to do that with them and document that, I think is going to be a lot
What's
of fun.
the impossible shot version of the Dude Perfect Outdoors?
I don't know. I hadn't thought that far ahead yet.
It's like throwing a fly fishing.
Well,
like
we
through
talked about doing a short of like how many shots to Robin Hood and arrow. So
Oh, yeah.
that would be up there
That's
with
sick.
kind of an impossible shot, something like that.
Yeah, I feel like you could cast a line through a small hole or something.
Yeah,
Try, you know,
for sure.
That's where I'm at. Where I don't love playing on camera because I really love playing golf.
Yeah.
And I like when I play golf, I like to not. I don't know. I just like to have it not be.
I
on
mean,
camera.
it definitely adds an element of stress and not fun to it sometimes, for sure. So
All right, I'm gonna let you go, but I want to ask you one last question. We're trying to grow on YouTube.
yeah,
I know it's a huge question. What's your number one piece of advice?
man, we had a big like sit down meeting with the whole company not too long ago.
Which is how many people?
Now it's probably 40 something people, and I bet we'll be at 60 by the end of the year.
Wow.
We're in like major growth phase right now, which is exciting and crazy. Like 16 years that it took us that long to kind of take that jump.
It's been like same.
Been very small for years, which we purposefully wanted to keep it that
Yeah.
way, but we just realized that, hey,
Chad
if we're
was a
going to
big
go
ad
do
for you guys.
for sure,
Yeah.
huge. But we realized that if we wanted to make some of these jumps and take on some of these projects that we've been dreaming about and talking about for years, that just we're like, man, this is such a great idea, but we'd never pulled the trigger on it, that we were going to need help. And so that was when we initially brought on the capital partners and brought on a bigger team. And so excited about that. But I would say, our editors came to us where I was going with that, and they basically told us, hey, the ideas that happen organically that you guys are naturally excited about, like they pulled up all the analytics and everything, which I'm so not an analytics guy.
So you just make the content basically.
Just come up with the ideas that we want to do, but their point was the stuff that you guys come up with that you're excited about, no matter what, naturally performs better on YouTube because you're enjoying it more and people can like authentically see that. And so when you're forced to do something, whether it's a brand deal or whether you're behind on a piece of content and you're like, well, man, we put out a video every week, so we got to put out another video. We've seen that over 16 years, the stuff that we're genuinely excited about is the stuff that performs the best, kind of regardless of the genre or whatever analytics say.
we gotta follow our heart.
I love talking about golf.
Yeah,
hopefully
so we'll
that
just keep
works out
doing
for us.
that.
Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate
I really
it, man.
appreciate it.
Congrats on a
Nice
great
work
day.
today.
Yep.
Here, I'll take that from you. Oh, we got Claire.
Oh, we got all the guests.
We're a very popular golf show. I
Yeah.
don't know why we wouldn't.
We're doing that now.
It's great.
Okay. I was going to talk about a little bit of Truist Championship.
Yeah.
We got Claire coming through, but did you get to watch any like the pressers today, or kind of watch guys play golf?
I heard JT's presser and I heard Xander's presser. JT said some interesting stuff. He was talking about Rory and what his strategy should be. After Rory said exactly what his strategy would be,
Yeah, he said Rory McIlroy, if you're playing golf, you should just hit it really hard.
and he was like, "Seems like this is a place where I can just hit it hard off the tee with the driver."
It is. I mean, it is an interesting discussion. We have a clip. Can we show that clip? The one about Rory talking about the golf course. Andy, we got that. The one of Rory talking about strategy. No, Rory talking about strategy.
The back nine yesterday, played the front nine today. It's very similar to a lot of these old school courses that have been renovated over the past few years. A lot of trees have been taken out. Green complexes are for me the interesting thing about the golf course. It sort of, to me, feels like a smaller version of Oak Hill. Not a lot of strategy off the tee, because there's no real hazards. Okay, there's some fairway bunkers, but if you avoid those, the rough's not that long that it's not a huge penalty. So simple off the tee, I guess, is the best way to describe it. But then making sure with the second shots that you're below the hole and trying to get to learn the greens a little bit more. So a sort of smaller, shorter version of Oak Hill is sort of how I see the course.
Oh, there's the course.
Andy, you want to let me know when it's over? Okay, back on me. That's how we're going to do it. Yeah, you tell me when it starts, and you tell me when it ends. It's an interesting sort of conundrum because these big, old, amazing golf courses, they take out a lot of trees. That's sort of the modern wave, and it's beautiful and it opens up the golf course and it's fantastic, but it makes it easier for the pros. And so I think they're going to shoot a million under par today because I think they're going to hit driver absolutely everywhere. And it's soft, and it's just what makes a good golf course for amateurs is not necessarily what makes a course that's going to test the best players in the world, and so it's just a tricky one.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, sometimes the course that's set up that seems like it's a little more straightforward for the pros ends up causing a problem because like they don't like to underthink.
Yeah.
You know, they're overthinking everything. So I can see it go either way.
All right, we got Claire Hogan.
Let's ask a golfer.
Let's ask a golfer.
Here you go, Claire.
How are you?
I'm Ben. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Want to take that?
That's
There you go.
me.
Yeah,
For
for you.
Yeah.
I thought you were just gonna reach across.
Oh no, I could if if your hand's tired from today. I can...
Be a little
So
awkward.
you grew up playing competitive golf, played in college. How did today feel? Like, did you go back into tournament mode, or was it, with the alternate shot? I guess it was still different enough.
Definitely different from competitive golf. Alt shot is such an interesting format.
Yeah.
Especially three-person alt shot, and it's also really different because you're super interactive with the fans.
Yeah.
There's a deer over there.
Wow.
Really?
We're a wildlife
Oh, wow,
show. Yeah, way.
several.
There's quite a few.
It's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah, this is Twilight.
my gosh.
Golden hour.
Sorry, easily distracted.
No, you're good. You're good. Did you have fun though?
I had so much fun.
Yeah.
I want to come back.
Yeah.
Have me back.
You liked the Creator Classic. It was.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Were you trying
Yeah.
to balance like focusing and then like being like there for your fans that came to see you, or?
I feel like the balance was there. I feel like my game was, the 10, 12 shots that I hit, whatever, how many I hit.
Yeah.
Just weren't up to par just due to, like, I need to get some of my specs all fixed up. But I feel like it was really natural. Like, I felt like I fed off of the energy of the fans, and I was shocked that there were people
There were a lot
out
of people.
here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing?
For this event, it's always a good turnout. Like,
It's
and people
crazy.
take their kids out of school for this, which is like my favorite thing about it.
So cool.
Like, how many times did your parents say that they would do that for you? But like for something like this,
Approximately zero, yeah.
yeah, zero. Right?
Which is why I got a good education.
How did you like decide to go all in on golf content?
It was sort of an obvious choice.
Yeah.
Just the account was growing, and
You started that in college.
not even on purpose. So I started on one of the earliest golf channels on YouTube. It was called Golfholics for the OGs that remember, and one of the guy who ran Golfholics knew my high school golf coach and was like, "Oh, we should get some young high school girls on the channel for some views."
Yeah.
Suspect.
Oh yeah.
Suspect way to
We
think
love
about it.
Yeah, that's- Okay, we won't name his name.
Yeah, let's keep him off.
But he got the views, and they came and followed me on Instagram, and so I knew that they wanted to see my swing. I was playing college golf at the time. I'd post a swing video here and there, post some photos from tournaments here and there, and they always performed so well. And so at that time, Paige Spiranak was big. She was,
Still
the
big,
OG.
yeah,
She
yeah,
is still big.
yeah.
Yes, I would agree about that. But yeah, so it just seemed kind of like an obvious thing to try. Did a few YouTube collabs and found out that they were able to make a living off of it, and they were like, "Yeah, do it."
Do you like doing it?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I go through ebbs and flows with it because it's easy to burn out.
Yeah.
Hearing so many people's opinions all the time.
Well, then we were talking with Eric about that. Like, he was saying that he feels like his job is before you hit send, and then once you hit send, what happens happens.
Exactly.
How do you
That's
do
a
with
healthy
that?
way to think about it.
Yeah.
I try to think about it the same way. Yeah, kind of a post and ghost kind of vibe.
How do you
Post and
avoid
go.
looking at the comments? Like, is there a?
I just block and delete. I honestly think I've never left a nasty comment.
It's not a normal thing to do.
It's
No.
it shows a sign of mental illness.
It's
very
not a normal thing.
yeah.
Especially if you see a lot of people that like don't do anything. Like, you could see a random person, you're like, I know that person, but I don't know them to be like a commenter person, and then you'll see them leaving some like vitriol, and you're like, oh, okay, it changes your perspective about
For
somebody
sure.
completely. When you find out they're a commenter.
Yeah, and a nasty commenter. At
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, like I've never, nasty comments, but when it's someone that I know, then it's, but you're right. You don't leave nasty comments on. That's not a normal thing that people do. And also, if you like a video, you're more than likely not going to be like in your personal life, be like, oh my god, this is such a great video. You're just going to like it and
Yeah.
keep going, or maybe send it to your friend.
If I think of something funny, I leave comments
Yeah.
these days. It's actually quite fun.
Well, because the blue check and then you get a bunch of likes.
Yeah, that part's fun.
Yeah, you show up.
It's a bit of a game. All right, so you want to come back to the Creator Classic?
I would love to.
All right, great.
Tell us about the course today. What was Philly cricket? What was so hard
It
about
was
the
so
Wissahickon nine you
nice.
played?
Definitely the rough.
The rough.
Yeah.
The rough was tough. We didn't hit great shots out of the bunkers. The bunkers were nice, but we just didn't really execute.
Yeah.
greens were pretty sloped.
Yeah.
You had to play a lot of break on
They're
4 or
big,
5
but
footers
there's tons of slopes going on.
outside the hole. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's old school. Little appreciation for these. Someone's going to shoot 23 under par this week.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is crazy.
It's just crazy. I go to these courses every week, and I'm just like, listen, someone's going to shoot 68 every day out here.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's wild how good they are.
So,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for
I appreciate
joining
you
us.
hopping
yeah.
on.
Thanks for having me
Good
on.
stuff. Yeah. We'll take the mic from you. Ben will take the mic.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Let's do it again. Here we go. Cheers. There we go. We got it.
You too.
All right. We're talking a little golf. Yeah, no, it's gonna be cool watching Rory this week. It's his first. I'll bring up the JT clips. I'll bring him up. I'll call for him. It'll be interesting watching Rory this week because it is. He came back with Shane. You could tell played at Zurich. You could tell he was super out of practice.
Yeah.
You could tell he was very, very tired.
They still contended.
They still contended. They were still up there on Sunday. I mean, they're the 2 best players in that field.
Yeah.
We had a long talk with Shane, and that'll be on the show on Monday.
Oh, good.
What a great guy.
Yeah.
Love Shane. But this is Rory's first time being back playing his own ball. He said today he was excited to be back, like doing what he does.
Because it's a new course too, and it's one that he seems like it's going to fit his game. Like he could have more fun, maybe in that regard.
Yeah, and I think it's. She wants you to hold that mic up. I think it's sort of like it's just, I saw him hitting like 5-footers today, a bunch of 5-footers, and it's funny. It's like it's back to work. You have the greatest achievement. In
your sport,
in the post Tiger era, you complete the career Grand Slam. But like the way to keep winning golf tournaments is to keep hitting those 5-footers. The game sleeps for nobody.
Man.
Yeah. JT was up there too. So we got a lot of guys who are trending really nicely before Quail Hollow. Obviously Scotty went on a blitz. We did a little video with Siwoo Kim today, and we asked him. He played with Scotty the first 2 rounds last week in Dallas, and he said, I felt so garbage. He said, I felt like I wasn't even on the tour.
Because he was playing against
because
that
of
guy.
how good Scotty was.
Yeah, man.
So Scotty was on another level last week. He's taken a week off, not playing this week, which is an interesting choice. Clearly he's not super bothered by the FedEx Cup points, by the money involved. He's getting 3 weeks at home at Dallas before this. That's what he said on our show, which is huge for him. You've got Spieth, who's like quietly trending. Bryson's playing amazing. Spieth is trying to complete the career Grand Slam. I saw a little tweet today. I think it was from Jack Hirsch, I want to say. I like to give credit when people get good tweets. Spieth was hitting balls next to Rory, and he said, congratulations. And Rory said, oh, it's your turn next. And then Jordan said, you mean at Rory McIlroy Country Club? I don't think so, because
everybody feels the same way.
Rory's won there 4 times. He's won there 4 times. I was looking, like, the only guys who have really won there that are like kind of still in the mix, because they had it one year at TPC Potomac when they had the President's Cup at Quail Hollow. Max Homa won that. So Max Homa's won the tournament twice, once at Potomac and once at Quail Hollow, but Max is still struggling.
Max was out on the range late today.
Max has been on a staple on the range late. I mean, we saw it.
There were 4 guys out there. He was one of them.
We saw it the week of the Masters. So Brian Harmon is a past winner out there. Jason Day is a past winner, but he withdrew this week with a little neck issue. So hopefully he's back next week. And then Justin Thomas won the major the last time it was there. And I actually asked him this question, Andy. We're going to roll this clip in a second. I asked him about you just won. You're playing so well. You're going to a major where you won the last time there was a major there. Is it hard to not drink your own Kool-Aid a little bit and be so excited? And here's what he had to say.
I'd say yes and no. It'd be easy to buy into that. I mean, to be perfectly honest, Rory winning the Masters probably helped with that, and then Scotty winning last week. This week, obviously, do want to play well and want to give myself a chance to win, and at the same time, it is a chance to try to just kind of keep building a little bit more each and every day, and to get it to where we're playing well and feeling great about everything come next week as well. So I'm sure I might feel a little bit differently when I get there, but like I said, I think I've been fortunate to have a couple of my peers play well that I think they may steal some of that from me.
Andy, we talking? Yeah, he's excited. He's excited, and you could tell that he's also happy that Rory and Scotty won.
Yeah.
He said it took a little pressure off.
Well, he said it also motivated him, I think. He said later in that presser that it's definitely motivating to watch those guys achieving these things. And then someone asked him about his 5-wood still in the bag. And check out Scratch.golf.
Did we do a little story on the 5-wood?
He wrote a little story about the 5-wood. It's like I think they're going on eBay for like $1,400. They're that rare now. So it's like
What
not
is it, the
actually
Titleist 5-wood?
It's a Titleist in like 915, I think, something like one of those vintage ones.
Yeah. And he gave a kind of subtle flex when he was talking about it. He was like, it's not that I can't hit the new ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people have their, like, trusty old hybrids or whatever, and it's like, oh, well, you know, I can't hit any other. He's like, I can hit the new ones, but he's got a trusty one. He said he's got 3 or 4 heads left. And
He's like, you remember 18 at Sawgrass? No, I don't need to switch.
Is that what he said it was?
No, he hit that. But someone asked him, like, what is the most memorable shot you can remember hitting with that club? And he was like, I think everybody thinks about 18 at
Dude, I
Sawgrass.
remember that round. It was so windy. He played unbelievable golf that day.
Where were you on that tee box? Were you on the tee box there?
Oh, you're talking about the rope hook.
I'm talking about that. Yeah, you hit that 5-wood on 18.
No, I was in the media. Dirty little secret. Usually when it gets to like winning time, I go to the media center.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just need to be able to see stuff.
I did that for the Creator Classic.
I need to be able to react to stuff. I need to be able to talk to people like you. So yeah, we had Rory was at the mic today. We had JT at the mic, and then we had Xander Schauffele at the mic today.
Yeah.
And so Xander is the defending champion next week. So and yeah, we got a Xander clip. And no, I'll toss it to you, Andy. Don't worry, I'll toss him. And he's doing a Champions Dinner. Right? It's a thing at the PGA too.
I actually didn't know that.
It's a little bit of a little brother Champions Dinner. You know, it's
An
not
homage, they'll call it.
It's you know, it's a Champions Dinner. I would say the picture probably doesn't get quite as much juice as the picture for the Masters Champions Dinner.
Sure.
But he gave a little preview about what he's going to serve and a gift. Apparently, you give a gift. So let's roll that clip.
You know, I didn't go do anything unique. I'd say it was sort of middle of the road, a steak option, a fish option. I think the gift is pretty fitting for everyone. I think they'll enjoy it, and if they don't like it, they can re-gift it easily. So,
what are you giving them?
A pretty on brand, I guess, a humidor and some cigars.
What would you serve?
Oh, good question. Is it the same kind of setup as a Masters?
Yeah, I
Champions
think
Dinner?
you're the champion. You get to decide what people are eating. What are you serving?
I think you go with like a spicy tuna crispy rice appetizer.
Very California.
We'll move into I'll switch from, we'll surf and turf it. I'll do a New York strip, steak frite, and
Crowd pleaser.
We'll do a cheesecake for dessert, a New York style cheesecake.
You want to know what I would serve?
Yeah.
It's not. I'll say this is not a meal that you would maybe want to eat before, like being a professional athlete. But I would do an homage to childhood. Okay. Because how often do you get to go to a dinner? I was literally going to say,
are you serious?
Dino Nuggets, Oreos and milk. Okay, that was my go-to snack. I would have double stuffed Oreos with milk. I would have Campbell's soup, chicken noodle soup, and my dessert would be a brownie with ice cream on top.
Just like Sodium City.
Yeah, that's kind of a look into
like
my
Campbell's
taste.
soup and
Yeah, like I just want as much sodium as possible. That's you go to all these dinners and it's all and fries, obviously, curly fries.
Okay.
You go to these dinners and it's always amazing food, but wouldn't it be amazing if you just showed up one time and it was just like I could be a 9-year-old kid again?
I want a beige plate of a bunch of fried
like
calamari.
The plate would definitely be like cut into thirds, you know what I mean? Like you have your little different sections for it.
Get a little Dunkaroo, maybe.
Get a little Dunkaroo. Yeah, I mean Xander's flying under the radar. He was Rick Gaiman's pick this week to win the tournament, and he's the defending champ next week. So we've talked a lot about this. There's very much a Tiger era, where it was like Tiger was the favorite every single time he tees it up. And I think Scotty still has that, but I think that there are like 4 or 5 guys who are going, and I think, Bryson is going to feel like he's the favorite. I mean, he's had a chance to win 4 of the last 5 majors. He's had a chance to win each of his last 4 events.
Yeah.
There's so many guys right now who feel like their best is better than anyone's. I think that's fun.
It's obviously a little more complicated at the majors to pick like Scotty as a front runner. I think when he's playing and like Rory's not playing, so like last week, like it's easy to say like, okay, Scotty Scheffler's gonna do what he did. But this week, for instance, like it's kind of anyone's game. And Scotty's not here, but you have all these guys that are floating at the top, that are on your ranking of the post Tiger.
I'm very excited to see who wins this week because it's going to shift the narrative again, and then we got a major next week.
What does the narrative become? Or I guess what happens if Rory wins this week?
It becomes how many is he going to win, and
in a row.
The venues. If he wins next week, the next major after that's at Oakmont. Okay, but then after that it's back home in Northern Ireland. He's going to bring the green jackets in Northern Ireland. I mean,
that's right.
Ability's never been the issue with that guy. He puts himself in contention so often.
Is it safe to say that if he wins the PGA Championship, that his odds for the Open are going to be like crazy, like Scotty at
I
Dallas?
think if he wins the PGA Championship, the narrative's going to shift really fast from like the Scotty to like, is this the dawn of the Rory? I mean, he's won majors consecutively in a row.
He's
he
doing
won
the thing we've been waiting for him to do.
2014, he won 2 majors in a row, I believe. All right, the chat apparently wants dog of the day.
Dog of the day?
Yeah,
really?
yeah. Who's dog of the day?
I gotta give it to... you can say first.
Paige,
You're out there.
Paige Spiranek.
Paige?
Spiranek. She played great.
Yeah.
She played really great. Her team did not play so great, but she stepped up. And Sabrina, I think, was really good, too. The women really showed out today.
The women were the MVPs of this Crater Classic. I think the comments on YouTube are all saying that as well. I'm also going to give it to Paige because she was talking to me at the beginning, right before they teed off, and she was saying, I was strategic about which holes I'm going to use my drives on. And I think she ended up having to hit more drives because she hit a provisional.
She had to hit a provisional
and it was perfect.
Striped it.
Yeah, every drive she hit, and on the range, I mean, she was killing it.
Yeah.
I think she shot under par at Oakmont last week, she said.
So she's dialed.
She's dialed.
Under par at Oakmont?
Yeah.
Let's get her to the U.S. Open.
Yeah. And she was playing, they didn't move the tees up this time.
No, they didn't. Yeah, everyone was playing the same
tees.
tees. Yeah, she was crushing it, and she had a little quick tee pickup, swaggy.
Oh yeah.
So
not even looking at the.
Paige
She was under her
Spiranek,
tracer.
Dog of the day.
Dog
All
of the
right,
day.
we're gonna wrap up. We're gonna wrap up here from the sun is gone.
Yeah, we're losing our light.
It's a beautiful golden hour. It's been a long day for me. I'm excited to watch some soccer highlights. I don't even know what happened in the. I'm gonna react live on air.
Oh my God, it's a watch
to the Arsenal PSG result. It was the second.
Ooh.
It was the second leg of.
If I'm a soccer fan, I'm a PSG.
It was second leg, and PSG won 2-1 at home. They knocked Arsenal. So we got PSG Inter in the final. Wow. Okay, there you go. Amazing television. Watching me figure out a score. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. We're going to do more of these. We're going to do a lot more of these live dog shows. So
we'll see you next week in Charlotte.
We'll see you next week in Charlotte. We'll see you Monday in LA, and then we'll see you next week in Charlotte. See ya.